Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started with Unit 3. So make sure you're finger spelling the word as you see it on the screen and sign it with me, please. Our first sign is thank you or thanks. And it's thank you. Thank you. Remember, facial expression is important. Now the sign for thanks a lot is thanks a lot. So you're incorporating the subordinate hand. Thanks a lot. Now the sign for excuse me, a very important sign in the deaf community, is excuse me. Excuse me. The sign for sorry is an S hand, and it circles your chest. And you want to make sure you have a sorry look on your face or it becomes sarcastic. So sorry. The sign for sure, really, or true, they're all the same sign, and it's a number one hand, and it's sure. Sure. Now some places. Let's talk about the library. The sign for library is an L hand, and it's in a circle. Library. Again, library. Okay, the sign for store, just a general store, is store. So flattened O hands. Store or sell. The sign for bookstore, you're just going to put the two signs together. So book, store. Again, book, store. The next sign is grocery store. So a grocery store is a place where you buy food. So it's food store. Again, grocery store. The sign for cafeteria, I want you to picture wiping your mouth with a napkin. Cafeteria. Like you're wiping the corners of your mouth. Cafeteria with the C hand. Now for restaurant, it's the same sign, however you use an R hand. So, restaurant. Restaurant. All right, now we have the sign for television. It's very simple. It's just TV. You're going to fingerspell it. TV. Now the sign for restroom, as in toilet, a lot of kids use this one. It's a T hand shaking back and forth. But again, this is more for kids, and it's T hand shaking back and forth. Now as an adult, we would sign restroom, and it's an R hand, palm down, and it goes back and forth. Restroom. All right, now the sign for desk or table. Desk or table, like you're resting your arms on the desk. Desk. Now the noun chair is chair, like a person sitting down, but you tap it. Chair. All right, the sign for sit down is the verb form of that same sign, and it's just a bigger movement. Sit down or sit. Sit. Now let's talk about our directional verbs. We'll talk about what that means in class, but the first one's help. The general sign for help is help. Help. We'll show you how to make this directional in class. All right, the sign for tell. The sign for tell, again, a directional verb, is tell. Tell. And it goes in the direction of who you're telling. The sign for ask, it's also the sign for question. There are actually two signs. They're very similar. The first one looks like a question mark. So it looks like you're drawing a question mark in the air. Or the next one is just a shorter version, and it's just wiggling your finger up and down. So question or ask. Ask. Now to show, as in show or demonstrate something, is show. And this is just the general verb show. We'll tell you how to make it directional in class. The sign for look at is look at, and you point to whatever you're talking about. So look at. The sign for watch television or watch a screen is watch, kind of like you're holding the remote. Watch. Now the sign for pay, the verb to pay, is pay, like you have a stack of money in your hands. Pay. Now the sign for send. There are two signs for the sign send. And there's send, or excuse me, send, or we have the sign send. It really is up to you, whichever one you like better. The sign to go somewhere or go there is go there. Again, go there. The sign for come here is just the opposite. So come here. Come here. The sign for carry, like carry there or bring here, is carry here. Again, carry here. Or carry there, or bring there. Bring there. Now, if you're just talking about moving something, you want to use the sign for move. And it's in the direction of which you're moving the object. So move. The sign for come on, like come on with me. It's pretty natural. It's a natural gesture. It's come on. Come on. All right, the sign for with is with. With. Now the sign for accompany, like come with me somewhere, you're going to move it in the direction you're going. So come on, come with me. Accompany me there. The sign for fine, like I'm fine, I'm okay, is fine. Fine. The sign for cool is, there are actually two signs for cool. The first one is cool, and the second one is a little bit different, and it's more contemporary, and it's kind of a modified X hand, and it starts at your mouth and comes off like cool. Cool. Now the sign for can, like you can do something, is can. Like two yeses. Can. The sign for wait a minute is natural. It's wait a minute. And your facial expression needs to match how important this is. So wait a minute. Just wait a minute. The sign for hurry is hurry. Again, hurry. H hands. Now the first sign for what, it's more of an informal, but it's more common, is what? Shaking back and forth with the question look on your face. That's important. What? Now a more formal way of saying what is what. This is less common but still used. What? Now let's talk about need. Like you need to wake up. Your facial expression, it should just wiggle. I need to do that. Need. Now if you should do something, like you should wake up, it's should. Just one movement down, should, but still kind of just at your wrist. And the last one is must, like you have to do something. Like you must wake up, and it's big. Must. Must. Similar signs, but just it changes how big you sign them. Now we have the sign for box, or also the sign for room. It can be either one, is box or room. Like you're drawing the shape, box or room. The sign for now. There are two signs for now. It's just the hand shape that changes. The first one's a Y hand and it comes straight down. Now. Again, now. Or, if you change the hand shape just a little bit, you just bend fives and it's now. But the movement stays the same. Now. The sign for today. There are two signs for today. There's now, and then the sign day, which is a D hand. So now, day, or today. Or the shorter version of doing this is just bouncing the sign now. Today. Today. And your last sign for this lesson is the sign for get. It's on the back page, and it's get. Get. Okay, that's the end of Unit 3. Make sure you're watching this video as many times as you need, and we'll see you in class soon.